Ready when you are.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar regarding the business license process. If you are here with us, then hopefully you're aware of the Resurgence Grant Fund that Invest Atlanta launched this past Tuesday. I'm Melody Eccles. I'm the Assistant Director of our ARP programming at Invest Atlanta and leading the Resurgence Grant Fund initiative. And one of the main eligibility requirements for the Resurgence Grant Fund, as you all are aware, is that our applicants are able to provide their 2022 City of Atlanta business license. We've received some questions throughout the last few weeks regarding the process and regarding, how exactly do we navigate the portal online. So we brought in an expert for you all to share a presentation. He'll walk us through how to apply for your license, how to renew, how to make sure your fees are paid, and how to just navigate that whole process on the city's portal. So we have Lawrence Davis as well as Daryl Moore. Daryl Moore is a proud native of Atlanta. He works for the city's Department of Finance for the Office of Revenue. He's been with the city for 6 years in the city, and he's been in the Office of Revenue for the past 4 as an account tech specialist. So we're excited to have him, and again, thank you all for being here, but I'll turn it over to Daryl to share his presentation. And I will say, if you all have any questions throughout the presentation, I'm sure we're going over a lot of information, please drop them in the Q&A. Our team will do our best to address them throughout the presentation, and we have plenty of time after Daryl is finished to address those questions. So Daryl, take it away.
How you doing? My name is Daryl Moore. Again, I'm with the Department of Finance, Office of Revenue, up under the leadership of Chief Lawrence Davis. And today we're going to go through the how to access Intergov for applying for new business, renewing, and paying invoice. On this next slide, you have a hyperlink up at the top that will give you access directly to the Atlanta core system. And if you would like to put this hyperlink inside your search engine, it will help as well. But this is the screen you will actually see once you hit this hyperlink. If you want to log in to your account, up in the right-hand corner, it has log in or register. In the top right-hand corner, you have log in or register. Once you click that log in and registering button, this is the very next screen you will see. And upon this screen, if you're a returning user, you will enter the registered email address and the password that you had set for yourself in the initial stage of beginning of registering. If you wanted to create an account, you will have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and you will hit the sign up button. And if you forgot your password, you will click on the forgot password button. You will get an email on your cellular phone. And upon enter on your cell phone, you'll go into that email and you will reset your password. Applying for new business license. You will go back to the home screen page and you will click start a new business icon. Upon clicking that new business icon, this is the very next page you will see, the application assistant. Inside that search bar, you will put in the type of business that you desire. And once that business come up, as you see at the bottom, you will have a chance to click apply to that specified business.
Hey, Daryl, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Do you mind putting we got a question, if you mind putting your screen into presentation mode? I think some of our viewers are having a little bit of trouble reading.
Presentation mode.
I think if you go down to the bottom right, to the left a little, to the left of the minimize, a couple more over, to the right. That one, yeah. there you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem. So again, the specified business, once you enter it into the application assistant, it will bring up a list of business and you choose the description of choice and apply. The very next page you will see is this, where you have to submit your company, corporation, the general partnership or limited liability or nonprofit, or either you're a sole proprietorship. You will enter that once you see this icon of creating a new business doing the application. The next page you will see is the location of your business. Once you hit the plus sign to add your business location, you can either use the search bar or you can enter it manually. After the location screen, you will click next and this will come up. You will have to enter in your business description and make sure the red asterisk need to be filled out to its totality to make sure that your business information is into our system. On the next screen, as you scroll down, it will say select industry classification. Once you select industry classification, you will select the type of business. For example, a food service business. You'll type in food service and you'll hit search. That classification identification number will come up and you will select it to add it onto your profile. And you, after this, you'll be ready to enter your gross receipt on the next screen. On the very next screen, your calculations will come up. You will need to put your gross receipts in the red asterisk area. They are going to ask you how many employees do you have. Since this being a new business, the owner always counts as itself, as one employee. So you can't put 0 on there. So if you got 5 employees, you put 5 employees. If you're the owner, it's not 0, you just put 1 employee. The type of business they're going to ask you is if it's a profit or non-profit. You're going to select profit, but make sure all the red highlighted is answered before you. It will not allow you to go to the next screen until it's answered. So make sure you have all the red highlighted answered. Again, once you enter that gross revenue, they're going to ask you, are you exempt from E-Verify? If you have more than 10 employees, you are not exempt, and you will have to enter your E-Verify number below. If you have less than 10 employees, you are exempt from the E-Verify, and you will enter 0. Once you see this screen here, the notarized, save, and E-Verify documents, this is where it uploads at. And you want to make sure each place has it has been uploaded. If the ID need to be uploaded where ID at, save affidavit need to be uploaded with save affidavit. If you have your LLC papers, number 4, you need to make sure you upload your documents to there. The system will not go forward or will not complete this transaction unless each item has been uploaded. On the very next page is your submission page. You'll see an icon showing everything in green has been satisfied, and it will allow you to push the click submit. At this time, you have submitted a new business application, and it will give you a GBL number with 6 to 8 digits. And if you did not complete a step, it would be red inside with a check mark there, and you would not be able to press the submit button. Renewing business license. You're going to return to the home screen page, and you can click this hyperlink above again, or either put in your search engine, take you back to home screen, or either push the home screen button. Once you get to home screen page, you're going to see an icon to say renew my license for existing business. You will click that icon. The very next screen you will see, you will need to click my work. Once you click my work, your account will appear at the bottom and a renew button will appear. You will need to click the renew button. The very next page you'll see is this page right here. And the business description and the license type is grayed out because it's system enter. You will not be able to enter anything in the gray area. But as you scroll down, you'll be getting ready to enter your gross receipts. So your gross receipts will be entered up under the reported receipts. Again, all gray area is already entered by the system, and you're not going to be able to change it or enter anything into it. And once you see this page right here, just enter your gross revenue, your gross receipts inside the reported receipts. The allowed deduction, don't worry about it. The estimated receipt, do not worry about it. Only thing we asking of to enter the gross receipt up on the reported receipts. The next page you'll see up in renewing your business license again, they're going to show you your gross revenue, which is your gross receipts, and your employees. Again, make sure all red areas have been answered. You will not be able to go forward without the red areas being answered. And at this time, they're asking you to upload your save and e-verify. Make sure all documents are signed, notarized, and dated, and with proper identification upon renewal. You will need to upload those documents on this page. Again, you will not be able to go forward, and this transaction will not be complete without uploading these documents to each 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And again, upon submission of your renewal, you'll see the 6 icons again. If it have any red, it will not let you go forward. You will have to see all green check marks in order to submit it. Once you have submitted that renewal, you will have to give the 6 to 10 business days, and the back office will get in contact with you and give you an invoice that you can move to the next level for payment. Paying your invoice. You go back to the home page screen again. The hyperlink is at the top of this screen. You can click Control, click, and actually go directly to the home screen. And or either you can copy and paste and put it in your own search engine, and this is the page you will see. On this page, they have pay invoice on your right-hand side. You have pay your invoice on the right-hand side. Once you click that pay invoice, you will see an invoice search. Once you enter the invoice number, you will always enter the INV dash and the 8 digits. Always enter the INV dash 8 digits and press search. The system will search the invoice. The invoice will appear up in the right-hand corner. You will have an icon to say pay now. If you're willing to make that payment at that time, you can click that icon and you can be able to submit payment. If you need to print the invoice, a print invoice, a print icon will come up on the right-hand side as well, if you would like to print the invoice. And once you press the pay now, this is the screen you will see that you will have to enter your information at. Make sure you have all the correct information. Make sure the funds can be verified. If it's not, the card declined, it will show on the screen. You'll get a red sign to say that the card has been declined. But with all the billing information in, you can press pay now. Once it is paid, you can continue on the site and you will have access to actual print your license at the time. Again, my name is Daryl Moore. I'm with the Office of Revenue. We are located at 55 Trinity Avenue, Suite 1350, Atlanta, Georgia 30303. For additional information, contact ATL 311 at 404-546-0311. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daryl, for that presentation. I'm looking at the Q&A. It looks like we have a bit of questions. Cateress or Riley or Michelle, anyone from the team want to read those off for us?
The first question we have is, I applied to renew my business license back at the beginning of February and still have not received an invoice to pay and get the license. What should I do?
You should email revenue compliance at atlantag.gov. Make sure you enter your business account number, your business name, its address, and your meaning for the email to make sure that you get an invoice. Give us a brief description of what you want us to transfer and get done. What if it's processing your application, just let us know that you sent it in at that time, and someone will be able to reach back out to you in a digital time.
Just to confirm, Daryl, so I can type it in here, you said revenue compliance at atlantag.gov?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, the next question is, we have had our business license since we have been open, but ATL Core is not populating a record for us. ATL 311 created a case number several weeks ago, but no one in the Department of Finance has contacted us. We gave information from our previous license, but they still can't find our record. Even though our liquor license renewal was approved and appears in the ATL Core portal, we need to resolve this as soon as possible to submit for the Resurgence grant. Any insight you can offer?
Yes, again, revenue compliance. The compliance is actually get each license into compliance. So the compliance box is the box that will need to send that information to. So we can get down to the matter. If it's something that can be done in the back office, if it's anything we need, we'll give you that email or send an email out to you to address it.
And Daryl, can you repeat again what all they need to include in that email address in order for just a swift?
Again, we would need to know your business account number.
Okay.
We would need to know the name of your business. We would need to know the address of your business and a brief description of the nature of your call.
The next question is, I've tried since the onset of COVID to renew my license. I can't figure out what's wrong, what I owe, and how I can pay. Can I visit City Hall in person for assistance?
Yes, you can. You can come down to the Office of Revenue, suite number 1350, and set an appointment. When you get to the window, ask the young lady or the young man, can you help set an appointment to sit down with a management or agent to actually get your account going in the right direction.
Okay. Under the zoning information, it asks for the ZLA number. I'm currently leasing a retail space, but I do not know this information. Is this required?
If you're a new business, it is required. If you are already registered within our system, the ZLA was started when you first started the business. So if you just renewing the business, it is not required. But if you are a new business, you will need to go through the zoning process to get the ZLA number.
Now, maybe add, if you are renting your space, that may be information that the landlord or the owner of whatever building of the space that you're occupying probably has on hand. So it might be worth reaching out to them. They may have that answer for you.
I did my renewal on January 27th, 2022. The dashboard says submitted online, but I have not had any further communication or information. When will the license be completed and the fees be given so that I can pay? What is the time frame to have the ability to actually print the license?
Okay, with all our incoming cases, we try to give a 5 to 10 day window. So it allow us time in the back office to do our job. So with the information that she have submitted again, for solution purposes going forward, you can email revenue compliance, give that information inside that box, and one of the compliance agents will be able to reach out to you and address that matter.
The next question is, please describe how a new physician joining an established COA business applies for his or her individual license.
Can you please repeat that again, okay?
Please describe how a new physician joining an established COA business applies for his or her individual license.
Okay, they'll come through our department. You will actually go online to do a professional license, and they will have to provide their state licensing and go through our normal process, putting the application through the ATL core, going through our zoning, and coming back down the beginning process. They'll go through the same process with the existing business go through, and that's with each each physician within the office normally have their own licensing or City of Atlanta a license, so they'll do the same as the owner did.
Melanie, I believe this is a question for you. On both affidavit forms that ask for the business license account number, do I leave that blank since I don't have one yet?
So that
Um,
I can
okay.
answer that.
Okay, yeah, I don't think that's one of my
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No problem. I can answer that. We do handle the Save and E-Verify documents, and we do expect for each customer to have updated documents. Whether it's the 2022 documents, we expect for it to be updated. But since you do not have the business account active or started, you do not have to put it in there. But we do advise of you signing, dating, print your name, get it notarized, and make sure it's getting uploaded to the system.
Okay, the
And
next
with
question.
a photocopy ID.
Where do we go to download or submit a change form?
You actually can do that on the ATL Core website. You can go up under the change of address. The same way you go up under there, the search for your business type, you can go in there and just type in change of address, and it'll come up the whole application to apply for change of address.
If we apply for and paid for a 2021 license, but the application has been pending in the ATL Core system since September 2021, when will we pay again for 2022?
If it's already paid for 2021, you should have the option to renew. And if you're not having that option to renew, that will be a back office issue that you can again contact revenue compliance and let us, basically the license needs to be expired. Okay, so just contact the Office of Revenue again, state your business name and the nature of your business, and the agent will get to you as soon as possible.
And that is also applicable for if the renew button does not appear for them, right?
Exactly.
Okay. For the reported receipts, which year is that for, 2021 or 2022?
So if you're renewing for 2022, you're reporting 2021's gross receipts.
Okay, what is the cost of the Atlanta business license?
It's based off your tax, based off your gross revenue. It's not a given number I can tell you, but I can just tell you at a base, anything under $10,000 will basically be like 125. Any business under $25, under $10,000 would be $125, and that basically being $75 of that is the application fee, and then the base fee will be $50 for the business tax.
Okay. I'm sorry if you already answered this, but how long does it take to get your license after you apply?
Again, within the Office of Revenue, we giving ourselves 3 to 5 days at most that we be able to go through each application diligently and make sure everything is there. Normally, it get held up in zoning because of the description of the business. For example, someone was trying to wholesale furniture out of their home, and you can't do that. And that's why I got held up in zoning. So sometimes zoning always say they give themselves a window of 2 weeks to get back to the customer in return of zoning. Once they come back for zoning, it's 2 to 3 days for us, and maybe a day or two to get it processed. But I say the longest amount that it'll be held up in zoning, and that's if there's any description with the business or the business practice or what kind of business it is, because we don't want somebody operating a food establishment out their house. So zoning has to do their due diligence, where they send the inspectors out to make sure they just ain't zoning out businesses, just to be giving out businesses.
Okay.
And sorry, Kate, just to follow up, in kind of similar to, when to email that revenue compliance email address. If a business, it's been a while or it's been a week or so, and it potentially is that exact reason that it's just caught up in the zoning review process, is that something that if they emailed that address that they would be able to look in and say, yes, it's in the zoning review, or would they have to reach out to zoning?
Well, there's something you can call to that, you can email to that box, and on behalf of the customer, one of the agents can call up the zoning to get a status update or either ETA on when it will be received.
Thanks.
Yes.
Okay, receipts are for the previous year and number of employees, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you already have applied for your renewal and your account is on hold, how do you get back into your application? I was told I failed to put the number of employees last year.
Again, you can actually still go through just because it on hold, you still do have access to it. But again, if you can't get into your system because of the hold is there, and you have the documents or the information that is needed to take off the hold, if you don't know what the hold may be, email revenue compliance with that info and a brief nature of your call or email, and our agent will get to that as soon as possible.
Okay, this person has a little bit of personal information in their thing, so I'm not going to read that, but I'll just give you the synopsis. I submitted my license application on January 26th. Almost a month later, it was canceled because my home address is not in the city of Atlanta. This is a mobile business, therefore I do not have a physical business address location because I will be transporting the bike as needed to the city of Atlanta.
Okay. In that case, that sounds like a vending issue. You can still go online to apply for a public right-of-way vending license and or a mobile truck license, a rolling truck license. I apologize, a rolling truck license. And because you will have to have a location to vend it, you would have to have a location to be zoned it to have a business in the city of Atlanta. If that's the place that you're doing business, You have to have a base of operation. What if it's a home base? And if you plan to sell food at Texaco, that Texaco will be your that Texaco gas station will be your location of business. If that's what you planning on come send your truck up every day at, you will have to have that location. You just pull up to any stop in the city of Atlanta and sell food. You will have to have a permit to do that. And again, if it's on a public right of way, you will have to have a city of Atlanta vending license for that. Hopefully that answers your question.
Where can we find the 2022 E-Verify and Save forms?
You can actually go on the City of Atlanta website, and as you go on download documents, you can go up under the Department of Finance, and you can scroll down and you'll see the 2022 E-Verify and the 2022 Save affidavit.
Okay. I never got the check mark spot when renewing. Can you offer
She said you
info?
never had got the check mark box?
Yes, it just says I never got that check mark spot when renewing.
When renewing, you should see at the end, if you have put in all the information and everything in red highlighted has been filling out to its entirety, and you have submitted the Save, E-Verify, and your ID, you should have seen a submit button. And if you didn't push a submit button, it was not submitted. And you 9 times out of 10, you might have a draft in your box that you might need to go back to and make sure you check if you did anything wrong. But in order to get that GBL number, or in order to renew and be in renewed status, you would have had clicked that submit button.
Okay, we did all the renew steps and applied, and our apply date shows January 4th, 2022, well beyond 6 to 10 business days. We have uploaded all notarized docs and entered all information. The COA system still shows license not available. I even opened a case to see what the holdup is. Can we submit a screenshot to Invest Atlanta?
No, again, you can reach out to Revenue Compliance. You can submit that information. It just might be some back office work need to be done. And we're working diligently in the Office of Revenue to make sure we get to each customer in a due time. But it's a lot of customers in the city of Atlanta. Again, I would say to you, Revenue Compliance, I am one of the agents in that box. I am one of the agents in that box, and you can submit it to that box, and someone will be reaching out to you shortly to do the back office work needed to move you forward.
What if we have questions about how much the bill is for?
Revenue Compliance at atlantaga.gov.
Okay, what year was EnerGov system enacted?
Maybe somewhat during the start of the pandemic, somewhere in start upon the pandemic, and not too long ago, actually got back up and running.
Yeah, I remember it was probably mid 2020 because I remember.
Mid, like around 2020, mid 2020. Correct.
Okay, how do we get an invoice number?
You can reach out to Revenue Compliance at atlantaga.gov, and you can get your invoice number. And or either you can come down to the city of Atlanta, get that invoice number, go to the payment window, make that payment, and we'll get your license that same day.
Okay. What information goes in the license details? There's a description box under license type.
That description box is the description of your business, when whatever that may detail, You would need to put a description of that business in that. It helps us, and it also helps for zoning to see exactly what kind of location for the business this specified business is going to be in, and see is applicable or doable.
My portal says license cannot be printed at this time. License has not been issued. It does not say why, and I cannot find an invoice.
The back office work has not been done on that account, and it has been renewed for 2022 from what I'm hearing. If you got to that point, it's still back office work to be done to each account. And again, we want to make sure every customer get their due diligence of getting everything answered in a manner of time. And some people issues are higher than others, but no, each and everybody is getting attended to. And again, revenue compliance is the email that you can email all the compliance issues to. Those simple issues like that can be taken care of.
Okay. Do you have to be registered with the Secretary of State to apply for Atlanta business license?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you pay via e-check?
You can come down to the City of Atlanta payment window, and you can ask that question to one of the payment officers. I'm gonna have to check back with you with that. I will check with our payment processing, but an e-check, I'm gonna get back with you on that one. Okay, we're gonna make a note of that one. E-check. Give me a second. I'm gonna write that down myself right now.
Whoever submitted that, feel free to shoot an e for that specific question to researching@investatlanta.com. I'll follow up as well just to make sure.
E-check. That's a new one right there. That's a note. Put a note on that. I like that. Okay. I'm gonna check on that one for you. I don't know at this moment in time.
Let's see. Do we have to submit a business return specifically, or can it be the personal return that lists business expenses?
It can be either or. You can send a business return or either you can see the personal return. It's not that we're looking into your personal information, but inside that personal return, it's a section in there that shows your business. It gives you all the information in the gross receipt, deductions, everything within the personal, as well as you return if you had sent in the business return. So either one would do, but we do need the full return to make sure you are who you say you are, and this is the business you say that you do.
Okay. Can you guys share the screen and put that email address back up there? Because I think a lot of these questions are people that are going to need to email. If you have a slide that has that on there, if not, you could just keep on saying the email address.
I do not mind, because revenue compliance is the one that gets your accounts into compliance right now, and I don't have it on the screen right now.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, please answer the question, and I'm gonna answer to the best of my ability. But just know the revenue compliance box. We try our best to handle all majority of the issues with the accounts.
Okay,
You know.
what if the business has switched from sole to LLC?
You would need to bring those. You need to upload those LLC documents onto your portal, and someone from the back office will get in contact you if there's any additional information needed.
Okay, how can changes be made?
Changes will be made. You can come into the office to make those changes, and or either you can email revenue compliance at atlantanga.gov.
I believe this question is from the mobile business. Should I have applied for a permit instead of a license?
Okay, The permit and the license is somewhat the same thing. That permit is a right-of-way vending permit that you receive through the city of Atlanta. That same permit, you still will have to get a general business license, even with the right-of-way vending permit. It's nowhere around it. It's nowhere around. Yeah, so yes, you will have to get a license, that permit and the city of Atlanta business license at the same time.
Okay. I also need to change our address. For 2 years, I haven't been able to get this done. No one answers the phone and I can't get an email contact.
Well, we do have an email contact, and that's revenuecompliance@atlantaj.gov. But no, you can go on Atlanta Core. You can go on Atlanta Core and you can apply it yourself. You don't have to wait for no one to apply for this change of address any longer. The system will do it for you. You just go in there again and type in the change of an address. It's not a business you're applying for. That's just the action that you're trying to do. And the process will move you along forward with changing that address. And again, once you have done that, you can reach out to someone in revenue compliance and let them know that I have sent that, I have did my change of address form. Here's the GBL number for that change of address, and can you help?
Okay.
And go
Sorry.
ahead.
So in clarification, I think. So it sounds like when you're changing your address, it's different than applying for or renewing. So you'd go to ATL Core,
ATL Core.
go to ATL Core, and rather than click apply or rather than click renew, you'll click change of address or change.
Exactly. No, look, exactly. You'll type in, you'll be clicking change of address. Yes.
Does your invoice appear on the ATL Core site, or will you receive it through email?
It's going to appear on the ATL Core website as well as your email. But that is only the email that you registered on the account.
Okay. How can we take advantage of the tax waivers when applying for our business license, such as the new small business occupation tax waiver or the new and emerging technology tax waiver?
Okay, you have to be in certain zones, portions of Atlanta to actually receive that. But if you have did your due diligence before you apply or while you're applying, you can reach out to the revenue compliance box and just give a brief description of, hey, I'm within this waive your tax area and I have applied for a new business license. Here go my business license GBL number, and the agent will know what to do at that time from the back office to apply that waiver to your.
Can you say the whole email address again?
That's revenue compliance at atlantaga.gov.
I have emailed revenue compliance and have not heard back. Now what should I do?
No, give it a moment. Again, each customer need to be give each customer need their due diligence, and as we receiving an overwhelming number of emails, and we knocking them out as soon as possible. Someone will be giving a contact you. Resend that email. I don't know how long ago that you might have sent that email, but someone will be reaching out to you. Again, we going through a pandemic, and we just trying to just fight our way up out of. But yeah, someone will be back in contact with you.
And it sounds like just the more information you can provide in that email would help the process on the revenue department side. Not to say that whoever asked that question didn't provide that information, but just to put out there, it sounds like the more information you provide would probably help the process as well.
Thank you, Ms. Elkins. And that's 9 times out of 10 when people is emailing the revenue compliance. some of the items are not present that's needed for processing at the time. Um, and again, we want to make sure if you don't even have the item, somebody at least is responding to you, to your email. But like you said, times out of 10, what they're requesting, they don't have those items available, or they did not present them or upload it to actually do the work on it.
I allowed my business license to expire at the beginning of COVID-19. How do I reactivate the business license? I made no profits during that period.
Okay, that will be a multi-year application. You can find that multi-year application under the download documents under the Department of Finance on the City of Atlanta website. You still will need those save and e-verify documents for 2022, and you will need to submit a photo ID as well. There are additional requested documents that's needed to be submitted with that multi-year report or request. You haven't did it since 2020. So we would need the 2020 federal and state tax returns and a 2021 income statement to be included with it. And what would prolong that request, if you is held up on any of those items, it will not be processed. And that would be 9 times out of 10 what would hold you up.
Okay. Um, I renewed my business license on ATL Core last August and it has not been processed. Because of this, the blue renew icon does not come up on my dashboard. What should I do? I have been in business in the same Atlanta location for 23 years.
And it sounds like she have already renewed for 2021, and she's not seeing a renewal button to renew for 2022.
Yes.
That's a simple back office action that need to be done. You can actually send that to revenue compliance as well. And again, state that nature of business that I do not see the renew icon, and that back office agent should know what to do at that moment. The next to do to ensure 9 times out of 10 that license just has not been expired in our back office. That's why you don't see it, and the agent will go back and expire the license, and then they'll be able to see the renew button then at that time.
Okay. I have a GASOS certificate of authorization plus license from the Georgia agency that governs my business, plus a sales tax number. Do I need a license as well?
If you planning on making revenue in the city of Atlanta, you need a city of Atlanta business license.
So I have reached out to the revenue office to no avail. I was given a confirmation number and have not heard back. Since that time, I submitted a waiver and they gave their specific license number. I was told I could not come to the office for help.
And she submitted a waiver for what?
For her license number. She said
she wanted a waiver to remove penalties or fees. That waiver might need to be specified, because it could have been the small tax business waiver that she's speaking on, or either the penalties and fees waiver she want to get waived, or either she might want a waiver to amend her gross revenue. So that need to be specified a little clearer to address.
So whoever, Ms. Taylor, can you please elaborate on that so that he can better address your question? But can she come to the office if she has questions?
Please come down to the city of Atlanta, City Hall, 55 Trinity Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia, 30303, Suite 1350. And we would love to make sure she get taken care of. Please come down to the city of Atlanta.
Do they need to come down there to set an appointment, or can they call or set an appointment
Well,
online?
I think we'll need to come down there to set our appointment.
Both the E-Verify and Save Affidavit forms ask for a business license account number. If this is our first time applying for a business license, where do we find that account number?
You don't have a business license number because you haven't applied for a business license number. Therefore, do not put nothing in that area and continue on with the signing and notarizing of the documents and upload it to your account.
Since Invest Atlanta is first come, first serve, and we are unable to get any response from COA on our business license, can we submit screenshots to show that we have indeed applied for the renewal? Melody, I think that's for you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Since Invest Atlanta is first come, first serve, and we are unable to get any response from COA on our business license, can we submit screenshots to show that we have indeed applied for our renewal?
So just to clarify, the grant fund is not first come, first serve. We do encourage applicants to apply earlier on just so that we have a little bit more time. If we have questions or clarification that we need to ask our applicants, we have, enough time to do so. But it's not first come, first serve. All applicants will be reviewed for eligibility after the application period closes, and then all applicants will be scored on that to ultimately determine award amounts. For the business license, I would recommend, if you haven't received your business license yet, go ahead and start uploading all your other documents for the application. There's an option in our grant fund application to just save your information, and you can hold that, and you can visit it at a later date once you get the business license. We don't have to see a copy of the physical license necessarily. We do have to see that the business license fees were paid. So as long as you can provide confirmation that you paid your fees to the city of Atlanta for your business license, then you can provide that screenshot. And we can take your business license number and double check within the ATL Core portal just to verify that that is in fact the case.
That's great.
Okay. Can you use a P.O. box as the business address listed on the City of Atlanta business license registration? Can it be residential or commercial address?
It would need to be a residential or commercial address. At this time, I think on zone is not allowing the zoning of PO boxes in the city. It has to be a location, a residential or either commercial.
Okay.
PO box. I'm taking note on that as well. That's a good question to ask about the PO box. Zone, that's a zoning question, but that's somebody that we can reach out to for a zoning and check with that.
I have renewed my business license both 2021 and 2022 in ATL Core. The message still reflects license cannot be printed at this time. We have paid the invoice already, opened a case and got a copy for 2021. No updates via email or on the portal. Also applied for 2022 and no updates as well for copy of license. Can you?
Yes, so that's a back office function that needs to be done. Everything has been done on the customer end. Again, I know you have been the process and procedure is to reach out to ATL Core to get a call in and to get notification, try to identify to your situation. But again, revenue compliance at atlantanga.gov, we're actually handling your compliance. So again, your compliance issue. So if again, you just need you submitted it and you just need an invoice, email revenue compliance. Can you please get me an invoice? I have sent this in. A lot of stuff is being held up at 311. I apologize for saying that, but it's getting held up at 311. So the better directed, send it to revenue compliance that we can deal with your issue directly.
Can I renew the license on behalf of the owner? Should I set up the account on the owner's name or my name? I am the controller of the company. Please advise.
As being the controller of the company, you are basically it's agent, or you're a representative of the business. So yes, you can sign the save affidavits. Yes, you can sign the e-verify, but we would need your ID. If you the signature, we need your ID for the documents you're signing. And yes, you can renew the business on behalf of the owner.
Okay. Because COA license issue is a problem, can Invest Atlanta come up with a stopgap in lieu of the license?
So, I mean, that is just one of our main requirements. We need to ensure that all applicants that receive grant funding are compliant with this as far as having their business license. We are hoping, you know, first and foremost, that keeping the application period open for a full 2 months allows time for business licenses to be processed. Even if not having that physical license in hand, at least processing your fees were paid, and hoping that, you know, for you all to be able to upload that screenshot rather than the physical license, and that helps as well. So, but unfortunately, that is just one of our main requirements for the grant program, is that you all are compliant with the city of Atlanta.
I haven't been able to renew because the blue button doesn't appear under the renew license for either of my two businesses. I've renewed for 2021 for both businesses and paid invoices, but ATL 311 is saying that they have no record. Please help.
Please email revenuecompliance@atlantaj.gov. That same nature, that same issue that you're speaking of, 9 times out of 10, the licenses have not been expired for 2021 and need to be expired in order for you to renew for 2022.
Why did I have to pay $500 for my renewal? Failure to pay, it says in parentheses. When I tried to call the Department of Revenue all of 2021 and never got a response as to pay my fee.
Again, by this new system, coming onto this new system, we was going paperless. So no mailed out information to the home address came like it normally do for the past recent years. But everybody who had a registered email and it was correct and up to date on their account had got several email blasts throughout 2021, 2022, even in 2020. The next steps of what was transpiring. Even when the system was down, everybody kept getting massive emails from the city of Atlanta stating the status of where we at within our system.
Okay, why does Atlanta require notarized documents?
We got to know who the people are we doing business with. We got to know how many employees you got. We got to know that you are whatever your status is, whether you're a citizen. We have to know it's for you. It's for you. It's for your safeguarding of your business. Those documents must be notarized to validate who you are as the business owner and the business at hand.
Okay. Let's see. What's the deadline to apply for a business license in order to apply for the grant?
For the deadline we have to apply, you can apply year round if you want to start business. But for all the business already in our system that need to be renewed in 2022, you have till March 4th before you receive the penalties and interest. But from my understanding, I guess it was March 1st to April the 29th is the period with Invest Atlanta, correct, Ms. Eccles?
Yes.
Yeah, so we year round accept applications for new business. And our renewal dates is from January 1st to February 15th. Um, Normally this March 4th got extended, but normally it's until February 15th. And after February 15th, you'll be assessed penalties and interest. And if you haven't paid by April the 1st, additional penalties and interest will be assessed to account.
Okay, just I think maybe we can give Daryl a quick break for all of these questions. I noticed there was a question about duplication of benefits, and I can just take the opportunity to speak to that requirement for Invest Atlanta quickly while Daryl just breaks a little. So I apologize that this is a bit off topic of business licenses, but I do think it is important, since we have the audience here, that you guys are all planning to apply for the Resurgence Grant Fund. So apologize for getting a little off course, but so the duplication of benefits is really for Atlanta to ensure that we are providing funds to applicants who aren't necessarily double dipping in other sources of funding. For example, if your business received a PPP loan last year to cover payroll expenses, we need to ensure that on our end that we're not also giving Resurgence Grant funding to cover those same PPP role expenses. So the duplication of benefit certification, something that we've created, and really asking our applicants to just disclose what other sources of COVID relief funding that you see. We'll ask for proof of that documentation. So if it's a loan agreement, a grant agreement, just to verify the amounts. And then we'll ask you to show us what you spent those funds on. So if it's payroll, then we'll ask to see the payroll journals. If it's just other expenses, we may ask for invoices and bank statements to substantiate those expenses. And then our application processors will just do the analysis to make sure that the expenses you're submitting to us for potential reimbursement are different from those that have already been covered. So that's the whole reason behind the duplication of benefits. That's what we're going to be looking for. Hope that answers your question. Okay, Tris, do we want to go back to some business license questions?
Sure. Let's see.
Okay, Tris, I'm sorry. I do see one more for you, a Melody.
Sure.
And an Invest Atlanta question. Also, with respect to startups, what's our approach in applying for the Resurgent grant?
Sure. So allowing startups to apply is really, you still have to be an existing business. You still have to have registered and have your business license within the city. The last round of Resurgent restriction on requiring businesses to have been operating within Atlanta for at least a year prior. We've removed that restriction this round. So if you've started your business in the past 6 months, 12 months, you're definitely eligible to apply. So if you are a newer business and you started up in the past less than a year, the same approach, really just making sure that you get your business license, you're doing everything you need to do as you're starting a business to be compliant with the city, and any costs that are eligible that you've had to incur over the past year are potentially eligible for reimbursement. If you've had a commercial space that you're paying rent for, have payroll expenses, any COVID prevention or mitigation tactics that you've invested in as you're starting up your business, those are all eligible expenses. So it's really the same approach. We've just eliminated the barrier of how long you've had to have been established and in business in Atlanta in order to apply.
Thanks, Melody. I know everybody's trying to get through these questions, and there are so many questions because there are so many participants. And a lot of these questions, although I know the answer is related to getting in touch with the compliance department, we're really trying to get through. It's a lot to go through each one of these and kind of pick out the ones that don't fall under that category. I do see one more just for you, Melody, and then I'll kick right back to Keitra so she can go back to the business licenses. The nonprofit organizations, what would be the difference in terms of what they need to show for, is it a business license, or what else should they be submitting?
Sure. So, we're aware a lot of nonprofits aren't required to have their business license. So in lieu of that, we are allowing nonprofits to submit a letter of good standing for 2022. That's a letter that's it's issued by the Department of Finance. There's a link on Invest Atlanta's website to that online form. If you go to investatlanta.com, there's a big resurgence update box right front and center. You can't miss it. That brings you to the resurgence landing page. And there's links to all required documents, one being that letter of good standing for nonprofits if they don't have their business license. The link to that takes you to the ATL 311 portal, where it's just an online form. It asks you for, your business name, address, things of that nature. It asks for a government issued ID, which is required to request that. You can also upload other documentation to just help the city in their review. If you want to upload your IRS determination letter or your Secretary of State registration, you can upload that as well. But it's an online form. You fill it out. It takes up to 30 days to process, and you'll get a letter from the Department of Finance.
Okay, back to you, Daryl. The person who did our business renewal is no longer with the firm. I am the new contact. How do we get the renewal documents to transfer into my name? We have a case number assigned, but nothing has been done. Do I need to go in person to complete the renewal?
No, you can, if repeat that question one more time, please. One more time, repeat it.
The person who did our business renewal is no longer with the firm. I am
Okay.
the new contact. How
Okay.
do I get the renewal documents to transfer into my name?
Okay, so again, you can be added onto the account as a representative and or your title with that company. If you're the registered agent or you're the acting agent, you can be added on that account. And for us to save and verify documents that is needed, you can go on to the City of Atlanta website, go up on the download forms. You can get the 2022 save and e-verify documents. You, at this time, being the registered agent, can sign those documents, but we would need a copy of your ID. And again, if you need to add you on as the representative or as the agent of the account, you can contact Revenue Compliance at atlantaj.gov.
Okay. When renewing your business license, do you need a notarized affidavit as well?
Yes, in renewing your license, you need both save and e-verify documents, not one, not the other. You need both documents with a photocopy ID, and they must be signed. The ID must match the person who is signing the documents. We can't have someone else ID and someone else sign the actual documents. We need the same person ID who's signing the documents, and they must be notarized.
Can you talk a little bit in general about this penalty fee of $500? Someone is asking, will we be penalized $500 if we're having renewal issues in 2022 due to a pending 2021 license?
Again, if you have submitted your documents into one of the license portals for renewal, is, for example, the 2021 business license renewal that everybody had to email to. Again, if you had a registered email online, communications was given out to you on several occasions in attempt to renew your license, and extensions was given by the mayor on numerous times to extend it, to ensure that you came into the office to renew the business. And it will be dealt with on a case-by-case basis, whether that waiver will be approved or denied. But that $500 penalty will be on every account that has not renewed by this Friday, March 4th. And that was a extension given. It's been extended since 2021. You know, early 2021 has been getting extended ever since then. So it's time for us to have to collect. And actually, again, it's on a case by case basis whether it's going to be taken off or not. If you did your due diligence, and it'll be approved. But it's some people who just didn't do it on time and then thinking about doing it, and I waited till a day before that we're gonna give out penalties to say, why should I have to pay $500? You know, so it's gonna be on a case by case basis whether account will be penalized for that $500. But for the people who have renewed since 2020, and you know, it's, again, some people just think sending one document in and not sending a whole complete package means that they submitted they application or did it online, or well, I went online, but you have no correct documents. You are not processed. You are not processed. Therefore, you will receive it until we have a completed package. Then you have renewed and you received your license. If your document's not on your file and you don't have a license, and March 6th come, you're gonna get penalized.
Hey, Daryl, this is kind of related to that question. If you've already submitted your renewal application, can you access that application again to add additional documents, or is there no way to access?
See, yes, if you have submitted your renewal, and again, each step would not let you go forth unless you have submitted something to it, whether it's the ID to save. If it's submitted in there, especially if it's submitted in there, you have access to it. You are truly renewed. If you went through the renewal process, it's just the back office work has not been done. You are still renewed in our system. It's just, you know, some of them get to the point after they done did all the renewal, well, license can't be issued. It's stuck right here. I don't see nothing else. I can't go no far. No, it's because you did your job. You have renewed the account. Now it's our time to do our job once we get to that account. You know, it's going through 50,000 accounts, you know, so once we get up to that 45th one, we'll take care of it. But until then, you have access and you're truly renewed in the system, and you don't have to receive a penalty just because it has not been processed in the back office.
Let's see. What is the percentage of gross receipts for the tax?
Again, that is based off your tax classification. And I just can't tell you exactly what your classification is because it differs because of the description in the different businesses.
Okay. Does applying for an Atlanta business license make me responsible for paying additional City of Atlanta business taxes?
Oh, it's not additional. It's just paying your due tax. Whatever you put on your paper, that's what we are taxing you. What you made, that's what you're paying taxes on. There's no additional taxes other than your gross revenue.
What is the ZLA for internet-based businesses?
So even as being an internet-based business, you still have to have a home-based location. Okay. So that ZLA will basically be zoning your home location off for that business to be a home-based operation.
Okay. Is there a difference in price for a license for a nonprofit as opposed to a for-profit?
Yes, it is. A for-profit organization will pay its full due tax to the City of Atlanta. A nonprofit, as long as they present that 501c3 letter, do not have to pay any tax.
Okay. What is the time frame between the renewed license and an expired license? Each
license expires at the end of the year. You have up to February 15th is the grace period to renew that license. And that's the time frame.
For vending machine businesses, do we need to have our machine at a physical location before applying?
So it still be considered somewhat of a home-based business. You'll be running it out your home, though the machines are at a different, diverse location. So you still will need to utilize your own address for that home-based business when applying, that you don't get held up.
Okay. Can I get a business license for a meal prep business operator in my home?
No. And I expand on, you have to have a shared kitchen. I apologize. You gotta, I apologize for being so blunt. But no, you cannot operate a meal prep in your house. You have to have a shared kitchen. You have to have a food permit with the food and county health department. Yeah, you're not out your home.
Okay. Does your department handle sales tax applications to obtain a sales tax number if the business is required to collect sales taxes?
No, that's done through the state of Georgia.
Can you explain the $500 fine and the 10% penalty?
If your business have not renewed within that year and next year comes, you would be assessed a $500 penalty. If your business have not renewed on our due date, in which we have allowed you a grace period from January the 1st to February the 15th, your business will assess a $500 penalty. The interest that accrues on account is from the later it is that you choose to pay it, the interest build up monthly. So if you don't pay it, the interest is being accrued to the account. And you have up to April the 1st to pay it before additional interest is added onto the account.
Okay. Can you give an estimate of the revenue compliance response turnaround time?
Again, that any response time to majority of any department in the city of Atlanta is way far beyond the Office of Revenue. We try to give up to at least a week or two. We try to give at least a week or two. In certain cases, in certain instances, the response is turnaround. But certain people is not applicable to provide the direct documents that we're needing, and they want more specification on ordinances and laws, and for us asking for those documents, and then it's like going back and forth. We have to provide them the law to say, yes, you have to submit your tax document to this government entity, and then it will hold up the time frame to actually get into the next customer and even handling their own case. So that's why I'll turn, if it's just simply expiring account, sometimes those turnaround responses is next day, especially if once you don't reach out, it's next day. But certain things is not a overnight. It's not, it's not gonna be, you call it a day and you're gonna be number one, and it was 49,000 people in front of you when you email. And that's a hypothetical number.
Okay. And then also when people submit, do they get some kind of confirmation, like just an automatic response email to say that their email was received or anything like that?
Well, now, within the revenue compliance, you will get a response as soon as you email the box, and it will give you a time frame of us responding to your email.
Okay. Can I still get a license if I have not filed my taxes for 2021 yet?
Well, in this case, if you are doing a multi-year application, we would need a 2021 income statement. That income statement can be prepared by your CPA and or either the business owner themselves. And that's just a simple Google income statement and apply your business information and your gross revenue and your business information of your gross receipts and submit that in place of the 2021 tax returns.
When is the last day to renew your license?
Again, the last day to renew the license was February the 15th. It was extended to this Friday, March 4th. So after this Friday, March 4th, and it's just our normal date is every year is February 15th, no matter what. By the grace of our honorable mayor, it has been extended to tomorrow.
And you don't think that with all the email you're receiving, this is a question, that you'll be extending the deadline again?
I can't be speaking on behalf of the mayor. I think that's above my pay grade. And, I think that's above my pay grade, but I hopeful he take that into account and extend it.
Okay. Let's see. Trying to see a question that I haven't already asked. I called months ago and spoke with someone who said they would mail the prior year licenses, but I never received them. What do you suggest?
The city of New Atlanta, once the current year is over, we do not produce previous year's licenses to our customers. Only thing we present is a letter of good standing, and you can get that through our management.
If they're having problems signing into their account, what should they do?
Email revenuecompliance@atlantagA.gov.
Okay. Exemptions from E-Verify, is that 10 or fewer full-time employees, or do we add full-time and part-time together?
2 part-time equal 1 full-time. And you will have to put that on the application. If that consists more than 10, you will need an E-Verify number. And if it's less than 10, you are exempt.
If we have contacted Revenue Compliance by email and it takes a few days for assistance, will we be fined for filing late since the deadline is tomorrow and we are just getting this useful information to proceed?
So know that each email and each document is time-stamped. So we are going by that timestamp to ensure each and every email get its due diligence. So if you have emailed us and your application have not been gotten to, you emailed us because you have renewed already, it is stamped. It is time stamped. And we are taking that into consideration and going forth with assessing these $500 fees to these accounts.
Okay. Let's see. If I want to ask for payroll as a sole proprietor, can I submit a business bank statement showing owner draw?
Exactly. That's one of the financial documents that we request if you want to provide show your gross revenue. If it's for 2021, we request all statements from January to December. Sure.
Okay, the E-Verify affidavit has a place to put a business license account number. Where do I get that number?
If you have a business license account number, you can see it on your actual business license. If not, you can again contact Revenue Compliance if you need to access their license number for us. If you have registered in the ATL core, you can actually see that license as well, that license number as well. And 9 times, if you register Atlanta core, you can actually see that license number. And if not, you might consider just having a license status update on your account. Let's call into Revenue. I need a license status update, and I need an update on my account, and let's go from there.
Can a residential property owner, my parents rent? Oh wait, I think I lost the question. Okay. Can a residential property owner, my parents rent a space in their garage for a home-based business?
No, we're not doing no business in the garage. I just, for example, I just recently written zoning to get a customer wanting to do sell wholesale furniture, and they was trying to build furniture in their garage. Oh, and the email came back denied. Please, no home-based business in garages. It's not safe.
Okay.
Maybe just one more question, Kadris, just for respect.
Okay.
Thank you. It's echoes. Thank you.
So we should still pay a renewal even though we don't have a license from last year.
You can get your letter of good standing from last year, and if you want to be in compliance and going forth and making revenue in the city of Atlanta, I would advise you to do it for the present year as well.
Okay. I think that was the last question.
Awesome. Well, I know there were tons of questions. Thank you so much, Daryl, for
Awesome. Thank you.
And for answering all of these questions. And thank you everyone for attending and just being so engaged throughout this webinar. This has been super, super helpful. We now know if we have any questions specific to your case, we're emailing revenuecompliance@atlantagA.gov. That's who we want to email, and they're doing their questions and inquiries. And if you have any resurgence specific questions outside of your business license, you can email us at resurgence@investatlanta.com. We also have tons of resurgence grant fund program information at investatlanta.com. And we are just doing our best to be as accessible as we can to you all. So again, thank you all for joining. Thank you, Daryl, so much for being here and for answering all of your questions.
And thank you as well, Ms. Eccles, and thank Invest Atlanta. Again, thank the Office of Revenue for giving me a chance, especially my chief, Lawrence Davis, to be able to present this to you all today, to actually give a step-by-step breakdown. And something just simple in layman terms can happen. You know, it's just about the correct communication, and the key thing, patience. Patience.
Are you share that presentation with us, Daryl?
Yes, I can send it to your email if you don't mind.
Perfect. Yeah, Daryl will send that presentation over to me, and I'll make sure that it gets to every attendee and registrant of this webinar, just so you all have that information on hand, and hopefully it will be helpful moving forward. But with that, thank you all so much. Thank you, Invest Atlanta team, for putting this on and just making
sure. Daryl.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Thank you and have a great day.
Thanks, Daryl.
Yes, thank you.